Omar. Yeah, I think sometimes it just feels like there's something in the air with these Watford matches. Yeah, I thought we looked really, really quite confident today, and very good track.
Are you there, David? David, I'm having problems hearing you at the minute, unfortunately.
Well, your far back would have been lifted. If we've got something here. Yeah, it's absolutely sickening. It's complete control of that match.
I could barely hear you there, David. Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry to have you repeat that.
Can you hear me?
Much better now.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that it's just an absolute sickener. Obviously, I thought we were in complete control, and as we go in towards the last few minutes, and I think even on Sky commentary, they were really bigging us up in this match. And I thought we just looked a really competent team. Obviously, a real setback in the first half with that grey finish. And it's just one of those sickening nights where it almost felt inevitable. The longer the game just dragged on, Plymouth didn't really have a good look at goal. Obviously, we could have buried the game perhaps a bit earlier, with particularly with the bio chance. Yeah, but I thought we were really good tonight, and it's just a sickener, and it's just it's that sort of inevitable feeling that was going to happen. Greg, yeah, I mean, he's absolutely useless, and he's bagged 2 brilliant finishes.
Yeah, that is the harsh way of footballing life, as in life itself, David. Someone who was very, very spotty for Watford in the goal-scoring department. £18.5 million transfer to Watford at the time, the record transfer for Watford at the time. But he really struggled to find goals for us. And of course, lo and behold, he goes to Plymouth, gets a new lease on life in a short-term contract there. And he is flying, scores both of Plymouth's goals and scores them at really debilitating times. There's no good time to concede. Both of those goals were really well taken. No complaint there. It's not a defensive mistake, not a backman mistake. It's just 2 individual efforts of finishing, motivated, I'm sure, by Andre Gray's appetite against his former club. David, that is a brutal job that we did there at the end. I mean, it's just a really rough one. Bio is the big turning point for me, even though he did score his 6th goal in the last 4 for Watford. He should have buried that. Had he buried that second half chance, the game would have been done and dusted. Plymouth would have not had the fight or the possession that they had. But as long as, and I'm not blaming it all on Bio, as long as you have the door open at 2-1, there's always an opportunity for the home side to come back in. Plymouth have been very good at home. They got most of their points, the 14 or 15 of their now 17, 15 of the last 17 points, or 15 of their 17 points have come at home park. So that was going to be a factor. Watford dominated the first half. Plymouth dominated the second, but Watford still should have seen this out. David, I want to thank you for your comments. I really appreciate them, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that was David there with the comments. If you want to join David, or if you're on YouTube and want to chime in, please do. I'd like to hear from you all. Omar here on You ORNS Postmatch. Welcome aboard, every Watford supporter who is listening or watching. Nice to have you aboard here. Really rough one, this one for Watford, because they really should have had this one in the bag tonight. Watford took the lead in the 8th minute through Bio, and then in the 30 whatever minute it was there, Andre Gray 23rd minute scoring to make it 1-1, and then Watford took the lead again. Ryan Porteous looked like it was going to be the winning goal after he missed a sitter from a few yards out. Earlier in the half, he scored near the end of the half to put Watford 2-1 up, and then it looked like Watford were going to do what they needed to do, which is get over the line, and you knew they were going to have to defend. Wayne Rooney was not going to allow his team to just sit there and be sacrificial lambs. And they did what they had to do. They dominated the ball in the second half. Watford were outstanding for most of this game. I thought the midfield was excellent. Sissoko and Louza were brilliant. I liked the defending tonight. I thought Porteous and Pollock were particularly good. James Morris did not hurt himself at all. I thought he acquitted himself so well. I didn't even hear from him in this game. And I think that means you're doing something right if you don't hear from somebody in defense. They all did well. No complaints there. I thought Barr was a little bit isolated tonight. Bio was very lively and very good. Got the goal, his 6th, as I said. A man who is now a goal-scoring machine, but did not score what would have been his 8th of the season to lead all scorers. And that was that's going to be a talking point for Watford fans. I don't care who you are. He scored once, but should have got that brace in that game tonight. Would Watford have won the game at that time? Yes, because it was in the 70th minute or so. He had a ball one-on-one, should have scored. He hesitated. He took too long to compose the shot, and he hit the ball straight into the goalkeeper, who made a pretty good save. I'm not saying that he did not, but it was a really good opportunity for Watford on a breakaway. Sissoko, who I thought was brilliant tonight, laid the ball right in his path, one-on-one, and that was a ball that should have been converted. Anybody knows that. The referee tonight was shambolic. He let a lot go. Watford were really well disciplined in this game. 1 yellow card. That came in the 88th minute of the game. That was Ryan Porteous. But the bottom line is that this referee let go of 2 red cards for Plymouth. How different would that game have been had the referee been on top of those 2 challenges on Sissoko that were really up on his ankle? One of them was up on his ankle, studs on, and the other one was on his inner leg, in his inner thigh. That should have been studs on his inner thigh from a player coming to ground. That should have been a red as well. So certified. I thought that the referee messed this game up, but that's not the reason why Watford only got a point. Watford did not do everything they could have done going forward to win the game, and Bio certainly should have scored there. Bottom line is that Plymouth had someone on their team, an ex-Watford man, who would not be denied. Your comments are welcome. I'll read them out on X. Morris was at fault for the first goal, says Michael Hobson. For the first goal, and Andrews for the second. Such poor positioning for both goals. The subs came too late in the game. That's what Michael Hobson had to say on X about that. Bobby says this: if Bio at that point just jumps for that ball, it wouldn't have been a goal. Does not give a crap. And of course, he used the other 4-letter word beginning with S to say the very same thing I did. So 2 people who have commented on X in the comments have a very definitive view that there were defensive mistakes there that cost us on both goals. Morris at fault for the first, according to Michael Hobson, and Andrews for the second. And the thing is, I thought both of them played well tonight. I'll have to look at the video again on that, because when I saw it, it looked like a really good strike from Gray. I think what Michael Hobson's referring to is that they didn't close down well enough in their positions, Morris and Andrews, for those respective goals. And so that's Michael's opinion. And then Bobby has said again, if Bio at that point just jumps for that ball, it wouldn't have been a goal. So that is what is being said on X, on YouTube right now. The comments from Matt. Thank you, Matt, for your comments on YouTube. Hey, Omar, a point is a point, but Bio should have put that chance away. He had to make it 3-1, but as per normal, he fluffs it. That is the position of Matt, and I do agree. That was a complete fluff there from Bio. Should have added to his tally. Should have been a brace for him. No doubt about it tonight. And Matt adds, I thought the teamwork of Larousse and Chakvatazda on the wing played a lot better together in this match. Thank you, Matt, for your comments. I agree with you. I thought, Matt, that both of them were terrific. They worked very well together, and I loved what Larousse did all night. Larousse was brilliant tonight in his position defensively as well. Was a solid brick wall there on that left side. I thought he was terrific when he came into defending, and very effective going forward as well. Georgie as well. Both of them have a really good chemistry tonight that served them well. Watford had a good away performance here. Again, I'll have to look at the video on those 2 goals, but for me, they look like fair goals. You want to complain that they didn't close down enough. Perhaps that's true. But still, those 2 goals, not to take anything away from the ex-Watford man, those 2 goals were really good individual efforts that cannot be denied there, whatever you say. The bottom line is that Andre Gray had 2 really good strikes off the volley for the first, and then the second one, he took it on and just had a go. And that was just a really good shot. You can't complain there. I have no complaint about them 2 goals, but that is what the Watford fans have said tonight on X. And I just want to thank everybody for listening on X. I'm going to head off to Instagram world. If you would like to join us there on Instagram, please do at YOU ORNS WFC on Insta. That's the place to be in a couple of minutes' time, because that is where I am heading to. We will continue on YouTube at YOU ORNS WFC, watching aboard here as we get to 10 past 10 in the United Kingdom after Plymouth 2, Watford 2. This is a game that was very similar in some ways to the game that was played on January the 1st, New Year's Day, when Watford and Plymouth were at home park and fought to a 3-3 contest. These two teams now have drawn their last 3 contests in the championship. Of course, Watford actually beat Plymouth earlier this season. That was in the Carabao Cup. It was a 2-0 victory at the Vic, but that was many moons ago, it seems now. This one's going to really hurt, because although Watford didn't win the game, and rather didn't lose the game, they didn't win it, and their performance tonight richly deserved the win. Apparently, though, it was not to be, as Watford are denied at the death. I could not believe it when I heard the roar and I saw the ball in the back of the net. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely stunned that Watford did not get over the line here. Literally, that goal came with about 30. It was about 30 more seconds left in the game. Watford had another chance, and then they got that chance cut out. But it was literally 30 seconds from the end there. And Watford, maybe they didn't close down. I'll have to look back at it. But listen, Watford should have got 3 points out of this game. This feels like a defeat. It's a long way back. You go from the West Country there in the southwest of the United Kingdom of England, and you've got a fairly long trip back. I'm sure they'll probably be taking a plane, I think, back to Luton Airport or wherever they're going to go to, Gatwick or whatever, and then drive down. But that is a brutal ending to that game that Watford should have won. That would have put them in 4th place tonight. Had they done so, Watford would have been in good shape ahead of the weekend fixtures, because that would have meant that they would not have dropped out of the top 6 no matter what happened this weekend. But because they did not get that final whistle blown about 30 seconds earlier, they are going to they may well drop out of the top 6. They are on 26 points, and if Middlesbrough or Millwall get 3 points on Saturday, they will be out. That is, they meaning Watford will be out of the top 6. So we got to hope that neither Middlesbrough nor Millwall win their games this weekend. Middlesbrough will be taking on Oxford. That's probably a safe win for Middlesbrough. That is at Oxford tomorrow at 3 o'clock local time. Oxford against Middlesbrough. Looks to me like Middlesbrough's going to win that game. I mean, on paper, it looks like that. As for Millwall, who've been going well this season in 8th place on 23 points, they host Sunderland. So probably a bit more hope for us that Sunderland will pull it out there against the Millwall side. Have gone well. Sunderland, of course, top of the table as we talk here on this Friday night. They're on 31 points, are Sunderland. Sheffield United also on 31, but goal difference behind Sunderland, the leaders, who we've beaten this season, by the way. Have you noticed? We beat Sunderland earlier this season, but we could not beat Plymouth. And this was an important game for us because it was the first game that we would have where we've got 4 of these next 5 games, including tonight, were against teams in the bottom 7. And so had we won this one tonight, it would have really set the table up very well for us, because on Tuesday, we play at home against the only team in these next games who are outside the bottom 7. So this would have been a really good springboard into Tuesday night against Bristol City, who are sitting 10th in the table. And so, unfortunately, Watford could not get over the line. And so it's immensely frustrating to see that Watford could not get this done tonight, because then you've got Bristol City in the top 10, who you play at home on Tuesday night. And then, of course, on next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, it's home against Queen's Park Rangers, who are on the bottom of the pile in the championship. And so had Watford won this game tonight, they'd be in a real groove, a real rhythm. It would have been 4 of their last 5 with wins. They would have gone into the game against Bristol City with their tails up. And then after that, they've got the game against QPR, bottom of the pile in the championship, at home as well. That would set them up nicely, those 2 games. And of course, remember, after that, they've got both Cardiff and Hull away from home, and both of them are in the bottom 7 as we speak. So this was a really rough one for Watford tonight. Listen, they didn't win the game, they didn't lose the game. The bottom line is they got a point, which you always want to do away from home. It's only the 3rd time this season we've got points away from home. Remember, we beat Millwall and we beat, of course, Sheffield Wednesday very sensationally exactly 20 days ago on November the 2nd. So, look, it's hard to get away points. It's hard to get away wins in this league against a Plymouth side, to be fair, who, again, let me restate the obvious here. Plymouth got most and have got most of their points this season at Home Park. And the name of that ballpark lived up to it, didn't it? Because Home Park was home for Plymouth tonight at the very death. Andre Gray sticking it to his old team. I wish he could have scored these kinds of goals for us when he was with us. But of course, that is not how it goes often when you want your player to do this kind of scoring. Well, at least Vakun Bio did do the scoring tonight, although he did not get the goal that we all would have loved him to get. And unfortunately for him, and unfortunately for everything, he's going to be remembered in this game for the goal he didn't score rather than the goal he did score. And that's the way it is in life and in football. And look, Watford fans, we are a demanding bunch, as is any football team fan base. And unfortunately tonight, though, we just could not get Bio to get that second goal. But he will come good again, leading all scorers at Watford with 7. That is it for now on X. Join me, won't you please, on Instagram as I bring on the Instagram Watford fans. And let's continue talking. We will do that here for a few more minutes, definitely on YouTube and on Instagram. We will start it up again. I want to thank everybody for coming in and giving their comments tonight on this match. A really rough ending to this one for Watford as they get a point where they should have had 3. Late drama, as there always seems to be at Home Park when these two teams play. The final score of the game was Plymouth 2, Watford 2. On to Tuesday at home against Bristol City it is. I'm Omar, and for those of you on X, until that game on Tuesday, I want to thank you very much indeed, and take care and be well. You Orns! That is it on X, but we are going to now stay with you on YouTube, and we are going to stay with you on Instagram, because that's where we're going next. Instagram Live, the place to be, is now. Hello to everybody on Instagram Live and here on YouTube, because we now have a second audience or a third audience to join us. And I must say, this was a real body blow tonight. I want to thank you all for joining on You Orns Extra on Instagram Live tonight, as Watford FC could not get the job done. It's a shame that these lads, for their industry tonight, could not get over the line. Omar here on Instagram Live and on YouTube Live, as Watford Football Club tonight do not get the 3 points that they should have got. This one will hurt for at least, 72 hours or so, as Watford, the first team out of the gates in the post-international break, this last international break of 2024. And the lads looked really good. I mean, if they were on a 2-week break, they didn't look it. I know that there were some players on international duty, but they were really good tonight for the first half, dominated everything in that first half. The movement was good on and off the ball. Watford's possession was very, very good. The passing was sharp. Most of the set pieces were excellent. Well done. The goalkeeper had no problems. He wasn't tested. And the defending that we did tonight, I thought was very good. Ollie says hello on Insta. Hello there, Ollie, pardon me, says hello on Insta. Ollie, hello to you. This was a game, Ollie and everyone else watching and listening, that is going to stick in your craw until Tuesday. Look, Watford could have consolidated their place in the top 6 tonight, but they weren't able to do that. And that's what's going to leave you scratching your head as a Watford supporter, because Watford should have got over the line here. Andre Gray was the reason why we did not. Now, some people on X have been very upset with the defending for the 2 goals. I really don't have the same complaint, because I thought the defending tonight generally was very good. I don't have any complaints about Watford's defending. even for the 2 goals. Now, listen, I can watch the video back and take a look, but as far as I can see, I had no issue with what was going on there in the defense. I thought that everybody did their part, did their jobs. Morris, I thought, did his thing, and I thought it was better than he has been. I know some people have said that it was his fault for one of the goals. Ryan Andrews, I thought, defended well. Joe Larkin says, hello, you odds. Thank you very much, Joe. Good to see you. Hope you're well. This has been a very rough one tonight. I was expecting to put on the yellow spectacles to celebrate a Watford win, but unfortunately, that was not the case. I thought the defending tonight was good. I thought the midfield was very good. Loser and Sissoko very much in control of the midfield. I love the way that Loser did what he did, and I thought that Sissoko was excellent. I thought that he was very effective, leading the line there in midfield and marshalling possession and distributing very well and taking the ball when he had to take it up himself, going straight at the defense, passing the ball to Bio, who unfortunately could not find the back of the net when we absolutely needed it from him. Even though he scored in this game, it was not enough. And Bio will probably be really kicking himself. He slammed the turf several times after that miss late on, about 70 minutes or so in. He slammed the turf because he knew, and you knew, and I knew, that that was going to come back to haunt Watford. Watford should have gone 2-0 ahead in the first half, and they didn't do that, and they got haunted by that because what happened? Plymouth equalized there, Andre Gray, and the same thing in the second half. Bio had a real chance to finish things off, and he didn't do it, and you knew what was going to happen late on in that game, and it did. It was really an awful moment because even I thought for a split second that maybe they will buck the trend and get out of Dodge with 3 points, but it didn't happen. We've seen this movie so many times. As Joe Larkin on Insta says, 95th minute equalizer, and it's Andre Gray. Doesn't get worse than that. I agree with you, Joe. This is a game that you would almost prefer anybody but Andre Gray scoring the goals. I mean, I would prefer they didn't score at all, obviously. But Andre Gray, with no cheapie on either of those are 2 excellent goals from him. And it pains me to say that. It was really, really an injustice. This referee let a lot go tonight. 2 red cards, by the way, that weren't called on Sissoko. 2 fouls on Sissoko, studs up on both. How in the hell are those 2 Plymouth players even on the pitch? That's another story altogether. That's not the reason why Watford didn't get the win, but that referee tonight, he let some stuff go that I'm sitting here going, how do you let them 2 go? I mean, and that's in the Premier League. That's 2 red cards and you're off. You're off. 2 players. They would have been down to 9 players in that. Because the VAR would look at that clearly, and that's a red all the way home. Absolutely gutted tonight. I'm going to read out your comments on both YouTube and Instagram, and everybody is winning on Instagram right now. And every Watford fan absolutely furious with the way this one played out. Dan Atkins says hello. Gutting, says Dan. Of all people, bloody Gray, says Dan Atkins. Yeah, that's the way I feel as well. I think every Watford fan feels the same way you do. And we both feel that way, Dan. Andre Gray, who couldn't score to save his life at Vicarage Road. I mean, he did score a really important goal that gave us a win over Leicester City in the Premier League a few years back. I'll give him that. But outside of that, he did not score. He hardly scored for us. Andre Gray was invisible. £18.5 million. And he was useless for us. But he found a way to be useful to Plymouth Argyle. Now, wouldn't you know it? 2 really good goals. It sickens me to say that about him. I'm going to read out your comments, and there's a video request as well. Huey has joined us, and so has Harrison. Hello, Harrison. Hello, Huey. Holly, hello to you. And Holly says, not happy. The referee was an absolute joke. Yes, he was, Holly. That referee really needs to be looked at by the FA PGMOL, because that was an absolute cardinal sin and worse from him. How do you let 2 red cards go, ref? How do you let 2 red cards go? Then with 2 red, Sissoko got both of them on him. They left marks on him, studs up on both. And the referee's nothing to see here. No, nothing to see here. I'm sitting here going, how has he not called them? If that's Premier League, both of them players, they're down to 9. 9 tonight. And that's a disgrace. Utter shite, says Harrison. How have we not got a 3rd goal? Rubbish. and I will join Holly right now. Other than the 2 goals, Gray was shockingly bad. It's typically gets those goals, says Harrison. Suzuka was lucky with his stamp as well, but agreed, the ref was awful. Oh, Holly, if you want to put that request in, Holly, you're more than welcome to give it again. I was just there we go. Let's do that right now. And Holly will come up with us live here on on Instagram. You won't be able to see this on YouTube, but you'll be able to hear Holly. This was a dreadful ending to this game that Watford should have salted away. We know Bio should have scored. Hello, Holly! As we get the video up for Holly there. Holly, hello!
Embarrassing.
Yeah, it was.
Infuriated. I'm going. Oh, what the fuck? That's all I want to say. What the fuck? Hello, bro. You need shooting practice, mate, because that. And I know I've said in the past I don't like the guy. I still don't. Let me be honest. But he could have made it 3-1 easily, same as Chapley. It could have been 4-1. Good night. And to be honest, Backman, learn to move, mate. Like, it's not hard. Get him going. Get him going. Bond should be our number 1. Let's be totally honest.
I agree, Holly. Backman, listen, I mean, he did make a couple of mistakes positionally. Generally, I didn't think he had a terrible game, but I agree, Bond would have done better in them situations. That was really poor.
Mean, but like, he could have saved that goal. Like, yeah, it was a good goal. Like, no hate to Gray. Actually, hate to Gray because he played for Luton.
He certainly did, yeah.
So, hate to him. But honestly, that ref needs some sort of electric chairing or whatever, because he was shit. He was shit. It's not fair. Like, yeah, we could have got top 4 tonight. And I mean, that would have been absolutely great going into the weekend with top 4. No, we're 5th.
It's painful.
We've got Little Luton playing Hull tomorrow. So who are you in there? Come on, you Hull. Come on.
Yeah. I'm up for that too. I'm up for that too. Yeah.
I'm going to the Arsenal Forest game tomorrow as a neutral fan.
Well, that'll be fun to watch.
I kind of want Forest to beat Arsenal because I don't like Arsenal. And I reckon I'm going 2-1 Forest. But after watching Watford play tonight, I'm not happy. Because I was thinking to myself, top 4, yeah. Yay, we can actually reach for like winning the league. No, blow that out the window after this game.
Yeah. That was a rough ending. That was a sickening ending to that match.
I felt really bad for Watford today because they played really well, and we need a striker.
We still do, Holly. I agree.
I reckon, right, as much as Bayo did score on Wednesday for the Ivory Coast.
Yes.
Why didn't he bring that
I know.
again?
I know.
Like, score for your country, score for your club. It's not hard.
Right.
It's right, we're getting rid of him at the end of the year.
And this, despite the fact that he has had ironically had a really good run. 7 on the season, 6 in his last 4 Watford matches. But the thing that will stick with us, Holly, is what you said. He doesn't score the ones that really matter, like the one that would have put us up 3-1. I mean, I actually love Bio, but
and I'm on FaceTime with my best mate.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, because Bayo just missed a sit-up."
Oh my goodness!
I screamed with anger. I was so angry. And then they brought Ken Sema on, and I'm thinking to myself, the game's gone. We've lost. Don't bring Ken up. Ken Sema is not a 90-minute player anymore. He won't win you games. He's so slow on the bottom. Bear in mind, I'm wearing a Ken Sema shirt.
I love it, Holly. That's great.
I do like him. He's a lovely guy. I've met him. He's a lovely guy. But he's not. I'm not trying to bring someone like Rocco Vatter on, who's actually going to make a difference. The runs that man made in the Oxford United game were crucial. We could have won that game 2-0. But like the thing is, we can't backtrack on games. Yes, we drew 2-2 today against Plymouth, but we need to put into perspective that we've got Bristol City in the week, and then we've got a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday against QPR. And every time we play QPR, we usually beat them 4-1, so it's all right.
Yeah.
In the bag.
Absolutely.
These are 2 home games, but this home game against Bristol City, I think Bristol City have got really easy games tomorrow. I think they've got Cardiff. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Me against that,
have to look. Yeah, no, I won't.
Watford fans, hold me against who Bristol City have got. If you want to win games, don't just go, oh, it's 2-1. We're going to win the game. We've got 5 minutes left. Win the game and score 3 goals, because it's harder to get a goal, 2 goals back in 5 minutes than it is 1 goal. When it ended 2-2, and honestly, when that final whistle went, I actually cried. So angry.
Yeah, it was very painful,
I was talking to my brother, and he said that game was shit. Oh, and it was shit.
Yeah, the ending was.
The last 5 minutes of that game was embarrassing.
Should have finished that off. It reminds me
We could have won that.
Yeah. Oh, we should have won that. It reminds me a couple of seasons ago, Holly, at Burnley. I don't know if you remember that game from a couple of years ago in the Championship when Burnley were back. We were literally going to win at Turf Moor. And literally the last kick of the game, Burnley scored to equalise.
Oh, yeah,
Same kind of game.
I went to that, and I was on Sky TV, and I went on this. That's when we were Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very painful stuff, Holly. I know. I don't know what. This just drives me so up the bend. Yeah.
I don't. But all I can say is we didn't lose away. So let's just take one positive note out of that. We didn't lose away.
Ray! I love it. Yeah. All right, Holly. Great talking to you. As always, we'll get one again on Tuesday night. On to Tuesday.
I'm going 3-1.
Yeah. Good.
I reckon Bristol City will score first, because they've got that one player that is good. But then again, Morgan Whittaker came off today, and I'm thinking, Watford can use that as an advantage.
Yes.
To go and score a goal. But
no.
They decided to go, let's play rugby instead.
Yeah. Thanks, Holly. Great pleasure talking to you again. Thank you. See ya. Take care there. Thanks. Bye-bye. Holly there with her comments on the game. And Holly, thanks again. Really appreciate your comments and insights as always. That's how we're feeling tonight. I think what Holly says just puts everything in perspective. This is the roller coaster ride of Watford fans. As Watford supporters, we know this is the roller coaster ride that we go through. Bios had a very good last few games, but he didn't score the goal that counted. And had he scored that goal tonight, we'd have a very different outlook at this game, because Watford would have won the game. I don't care what anybody tells me. They would have been 3-1 up with 20 minutes to go. They would have found a way to finish that game off. And Matt just says on YouTube, Bristol City are playing Burnley tomorrow. That should be a very good tussle. Burnley are doing very well. And as I said, if Watford are to stay in the top 6 this weekend after the weekend's games, Millwall and Middlesbrough must only get a draw. No better than that for either of those two. Middlesbrough are at Oxford, so it looks like Oxford are going to probably fall to defeat to Middlesbrough. And then the game that Millwall play, they are at Sunderland. They are hosting Sunderland. So, there's a better chance that Millwall will not get that win. But again, the championship's the championship. That's why you play these games. I mean, we could be looking at Millwall winning their game, and we could certainly be looking at Oxford pulling off an upset against Middlesbrough. So it can happen in these games. Oxford are a pretty good side at home, but Watford should have taken care of business tonight. That's all there is to it. It's a really bad one for us. It's not the end of the planet. Tom Cleverley was watching from the stands. Is that a reason why Watford didn't get the 3 points? Of course, that's not got anything to do with anything. Damon Lathrop doing a decent job in his first game as a manager or quasi-manager, with Paul Robinson taking care of business as well to include that. But this should have been a win tonight for us, as Holly just reminds us again. Come on, Oxford and Millwall, help us out, says Holly. All right, Holly, as always, providing the comments that we really need to hear, because as you know, Watford fans everywhere gutted tonight after a game that Watford had in hand. I mean, listen, this game, even though it was 2-1, Watford had this game in hand. And I mean, they had the game put to bed, really, despite Plymouth. Plymouth were horrible in terms of their passing tonight, except for when they executed the 2 goals. The passing was awful from Plymouth tonight. They got out of jail tonight, and the referee was a big reason why. They should have finished with 9 men on the pitch. I'm going to say that till the cows come home, because that referee was shocking tonight. Shocking, the ref tonight. Absolutely shocking. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let me read out the rest of your comments on Instagram. Zach says hello. George says hello. Harvey Smith has said hello as well. I have to say, this is such a painful one tonight. This feels like a loss. YouTubers, come on in and say hello to us. Matt has been doing the commenting thus far on YouTube. And as he did remind us, I'll read it out again. Burnley are playing against Bristol City tomorrow. So that's the one for them. Ahead of the game, they will travel to the Vic against us. Watford continuing to play well. Look, the Watford didn't lose the game tonight. I think that's the only silver lining that you take out of a contest like this one. That we did not get this job done, though, is the other one. And I'm sure Bayo, who slammed his hand on the turf several times after missing what to me was a sitter for what would have been his brace on his 8th of the season, I think is going to have that in his mind from now until the Bristol City game, which is an awfully long time to have that on your mind. But that's going to be one of them things. I think the positive as well about this game is that there is a quick turnaround. If Watford had to play their game against Bristol City next Saturday instead, I think this could have been a much more damaging affair. But the fact is, Watford will look at the film in this game probably tomorrow, and they'll start training again, and they'll be ready for that game on Tuesday night against Bristol City. And so they won't have that long to linger over what was an unfortunate ending to this game. I couldn't believe when that ball ended up in the back of the net. I was thinking, what's Andre Gray taking a shot from there for? And then seconds later, I thought, that's why he took the shot. It was just unbelievable. No words. No words. You don't have any words after an ending like that. You know, again, this game was very, very similar in some ways to the game that we played at Home Park on the 1st of the year, January 1st, first day of the new year, New Year's Day, when Watford were up and down with Plymouth in that game. On that day, it finished 3-3 that day. Remember, Watford took the lead in that game as well, and then trailed at halftime 2-1, and then got an equalizer, then fell behind 3-2, and then actually they trailed 3-2 at halftime, actually. And then in the second half, the only goal of the second half came from Kayembe, about 10 minutes in, roughly, into that second half to give Watford a share of the points. And then Ben Hamer, who was in goal that day, made some excellent saves, including 2 successive point-blank range saves in that game on January 1st at Home Park to keep Watford from going down to defeat there at what would have been 4-3. So this was a really, really painful one. This was much worse than the game that we played 3-3 in, because, of course, that game that we equalized in was early on, and we had to come from behind to get that point, whereas tonight, Plymouth had to come from behind to get the point. They were behind twice in this game, and twice Andre Gray rescued them with some stunning strikes. I didn't see anything wrong with the defending. Yes, Daniel Batman, and I agree with Holly to an extent. Daniel Batman's positioning was pretty poor on both of those, but it takes nothing. But it really wasn't his fault, in my view. It takes nothing away from what Andre Gray did, as painful as it is to say that Andre Gray got 2 very well taken goals. It is now 20 minutes to 11 almost in the United Kingdom as it rains cats and dogs here in San Francisco. My goodness me, it is so dreary. We are in the middle, or we just started our rain season here. So for the next 3 months, there's going to be, most of the time, the bulk of the rain that comes in San Francisco comes between the months of November and into early February. For the next 3 months, we're going to be seeing a lot more of this. And there'll be some sunny days, but we're going to get a lot of rain. And we were forecast to get a lot of rain this particular week. And it has happened, and it has been raining nonstop for 3 days here in San Francisco, California. It is hard to do your morning run when it is pelting down like this. But believe me, I managed to get a morning run in. Not that you really need to know that, but I did. And my goodness me, I normally run for a lot longer than the 3 minutes I ran for, because it was absolutely pelting down this morning. And it continues to do that right now here in San Francisco. I hope the weather's dry where you are. It certainly was in Plymouth tonight. Come on, Oxford and Millwall, help us out, says Holly, as she did. Just found out something about Andy Davis. Well, look, that referee tonight was awful. I can tell you that. I think, is that Holly with another request to come in? Holly, again, let's talk to you live and direct if we can. Holly, what's that about Andy Davies?
Well, Rob apparently supports Portsmouth, so.
Oh!
But Rob favoured Plymouth. So
I know.
Do not believe Twitter, guys. It's some fake place. Fact. He was the referee against the Millwall game when we drew 2-2, and he supports Luton.
That's him.
That's him.
Oh, that little, you know what? Oh,
Hear
dear.
me out, you little prick, wherever you are in the world. Me and you, when I meet you, I'm going to come to you as a big rubby prick.
Andy Davies wearing everything but a Luton shirt tonight there, Holly.
I don't like him. I reckon the bruv. Right, firstly, Sissoko. That was so sad. Got injured in the first 8 minutes of the game.
Exactly.
And you didn't send him off? Right, I actually give up with these Plymouth wannabes, whatever they are. And their songs and their chants are shit. Oh, I got him. Yeah, great. Fucking seal the gate.
Holly, that's so funny.
That's all they sung. Right, you only got one song. One song that you nicked off of us.
Oh, I love it. Terrific stuff, Holly.
I think the best thing was, oh, go again. Like, get a grip. As a shit song. It's Watford again. And not Wayne Rooney's Barmy Army, because Wayne Rooney's the same size as my house. So.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, Wayne Rooney definitely.
I can see why your wife went in the jungle.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Holly, thank you so much again. I appreciate it. Thanks for the laughs, because we need the laughs tonight around here. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I mean, but you can see why his wife went in the jungle now. So let's be honest, probably get a break from him.
That's what I mean.
No, the reason she's gone in the jungle is because she knows he's going to get sacked if he loses. And that's how she's going to pay her bills for the next 10 months. There you go. Because imagine him squeezing into a Plymouth shirt. They'd probably have to make a new size. Let's be honest.
God.
Let's be for real.
Holly, you are always for real, and I really appreciate that. Holly, we'll talk again. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Let's pre-match that both games. Right, 4-1.
Go on.
Against QPR.
Yeah.
I'm not predicting who scores because they're all a bit bipolar at the moment. They are. They're Watford. We should be called Watford FC. We should be called Bipolar FC. We say bipolar. Who else? Right. I'm locking in this stat right now.
Go on.
Tom Ince.
Yep.
To score on Tuesday night.
All right. I'll remember that. I'll write that down.
At home.
Okay.
45 kickoff.
Tom Ince. Okay.
We'll be doing an Instagram live from the Vic.
I'll have to join you for that.
Stick around, guys.
All right.
Holly's back at the Vic.
Hey, Holly! Thank you, Holly.
I'm going to the Vic tomorrow because I'm not wearing an Arsenal shirt. I'm not one of these wannabes. I'm wearing a Watford shirt, right?
There we go. There we go. Where are the odds? Where are the odds?
I'm sitting in the Arsenal end with my boyfriend. He's a Watford fan as well, and I said I'm gonna wear a Watford shirt, and then I'm gonna show the Nottingham Forest fan.
Yeah, there's the badge.
We want Forest to win tomorrow because I don't like Arsenal. I only like Arsenal women.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're very good. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Watford women are shit. So I don't recommend watching them. But
Haven't been bad this season though. The Watford women, they ain't been that bad this season though.
It is like watching paper though, and I play football myself. So.
Oh gosh, I wish I could go on and I'll tell you.
If you went into an IKEA and you saw them paint the walls, you'd rather watch that than watch them play.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, Holly. Oh, God.
I went to one of their games a couple of months ago at the Vic, and I literally fell asleep from like the first minute to the 90th minute, and they lost 6-1. So, you know.
Yeah,
maybe me being there was, you know, the bad spirit or something.
Because they've been doing some really good things lately, but we'll see.
Maybe I shouldn't have turned my TV on tonight, and we might have won the game. To Watford Twitter, we need to have a chat because Watford Twitter is shit. Porteous, I don't want to talk about him. I don't. But to any Watford fan that likes Ryan Porteous, get out because he's not that good, and they need to send help. Because to be honest, ever since he came back from that Euros in the summer, he's been like a waste of space. Bring back Wesley Hoot.
Yeah, he's too busy enjoying that money though.
Poor Wesley Hoot's wife has got cervix cancer.
Is that true? I don't know that that's true.
Yeah, his wife's got cancer. Liz Blissett has made a full recovery in hospital.
Hey, all right, hi! That's the best news of the night. I'm very glad to hear that.
Because I play for Watford, I have the ins and outs info.
Now, is that confirmed, Holly, or is that some ins and outs that you're talking about?
No, I play for Watford Academy. All I can say is Bayo is leaving at the end of the season. We all knew that.
Inside sources, Holly.
I reckon.
Yeah.
We need to somehow convince Gino to let us have Ronaldo, and then we'd win the league. Just give him a tenner, like British tenner, because he probably doesn't even know what that is. Let's be for real. And say to him, here's a tenner, mate. Come play for us.
We'll see what happens, Holly. Holly.
Or, this is another stat.
Yes.
So we should have kept Aspria for another year, and then I think we would have done well. I can't really say that we're not doing well. We are doing well. But then again, we always have a rocky patch, let's be honest. We've always been that team that we like glue. We're so sticky, it's actually really sad. Like 1 minute we play good, 1 minute we don't, 1 minute we play good, 1 minute we don't. Honestly, definition of yo-yo.
Very true.
World.
Very true.
I think Watford need to take life lessons from Real Madrid, and they actually need. Well, they've got 2 days off. Maybe they should all go and watch Real Madrid and see how they play. So, or go and watch Premier League football, and then Bayo might actually go, oh my God, I want to score a goal and not get paid 10p.
Holly, thank you very much. Holly, great talking to you. We'll do this again on Tuesday night. Take care now.
Also, terminate Backman's contract at all costs.
All right. We'll do that. Come on, you odds. Take care, Holly. Thank you. Holly again there with her commentary. Much appreciated as always. The Watford women have gone very well, as I was saying to Holly, this season. They've had their ups and downs, but I think they're in the right direction, at least under Renee Hector, who I think has done a good job for them. The goals are coming. They've scored a lot of goals this season, and they're looking really good. We'll see about Bachmann's contract. I think a lot of Watford fans, and I'm with you. I think that Bond should be starting. Bachmann, 6 years or whatever it was, big mistake. He is the official club captain, and Sissoko's the on-field captain. But Bachmann is the official captain of this side, club captain. And look, tonight was not his fault, but look, you wonder whether Jonathan Bond would have done better. I kind of think he probably would have. The fact is that those 2 goals from Gray were terrific goals, as painful as it is to admit. But there we go. I want to thank everybody here. I want to read out one of your comments on YouTube. Matt, I'm still trying to decide, says Matt. I hope you could hear what Holly was saying. I think you could on YouTube. Thank you very much for following us here. It is almost, would you believe, almost 11 o'clock at night on in the United Kingdom. By the way, Holly says all those Batman shirts need burning, says Holly. Holly is oh dear. I mean, there are fans who feel that way. I don't feel that way, but listen, I think that the Watford front office made a big mistake with Bachmann. I just think that they did. You don't give 5 or 6 years, whatever the heck it was, to someone who has had some, issues and disciplinary problems. That's not judicious. It's not wise money. So there we go. But anyway, let me go on to what Matt has to say here on YouTube. I'm still trying to decide, Matt says on YouTube, who was man of the match. I can't decide between Larousse and Porteous, but if I had to pick, I think I'd have to pick Larousse for his work on and off the ball and the assist. That's a good choice, Matt. I think that would have been my choice as well. Despite the draw tonight, I think Larousse overall had an excellent game. Probably his very best game for us. He was a brick wall when he had to defend. He orchestrated well going forward as the left back and then put that really good assist in for the goal from Bio, I believe it was, who scored that first goal. Larousse had an excellent game tonight. I totally agree, Matt. Thanks for that comment. Holly Louise echoes that as well. She says Larousse man of the match. And she also adds, kids, don't choose Bachmann as your favorite player. It ain't a good look, says Holly. Holly is a huge Daniel Bachmann fan, as you can attest to. Oh dear. Thank you, Holly, as always, for that. And Matt also adds on YouTube, thank you, Matt, for your comments as well. This Watford season is making me feel like I'm on a roller coaster, but just going up and down. Yep, that is where we are. I think the good thing is, Matt, you know what? The difference is, Matt, we would have lost this game in the last minute last season. We would have lost this game. Andre Gray would have scored twice in the final 15 seconds. I mean, you know that, Matt. I mean, last season, we would have been on a hiding to nowhere in a game like this. But thankfully, we got a point. I know it's a really tangled point because it's different when you're up 2-1 for so long to concede late like that versus if you're down 2-1 for so long and you nick a goal late. The whole complexion of the night changes dramatically based on which one you are on the receiving end of. If you're on the receiving end of a goal being scored and you're on the receiving end of that and you're the team that scored that goal, you feel like you stole the game and you won the game. If you're on the receiving end where you concede in the last 15 seconds like that, you feel like you lost it. And so tonight we feel like we would have lost this game, Matt, but we didn't, thankfully. I think we're going to have to put this result in perspective with a lot of away performances. This is actually one of our best away performances of the season. We know that the Wednesday game was a runaway. We absolutely destroyed Wednesday. But I think if you're looking at composure and discipline, we only had one yellow card all night. Ryan Porteous was the one in the 88th minute. That was our only caution of the game. We were very well disciplined tonight, Matt. We were very well disciplined overall. The problem was that we just couldn't see the game out. And if you want to attribute that to any one player, go ahead. If you want to say Bachmann, as Holly does, was probably at fault for that, go ahead. If you want to say, as people on X had said to me, that they were upset at both Morris and Andrews for both of the goals, go ahead and do that. I don't think they were really the problem tonight. We had incredible discipline. Our movement off the ball, as you pointed out, Matt, with Larousse was brilliant. Overall, team-wide, it was great. Our passing was sharp. Our movement was really good on and off the ball. We established great tempo in the game. We were brilliant off the ball, on the ball. We were really good in transition. I thought we did everything right. We just didn't get across the line. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it takes an individual moment of quality like that. And I know it's so cliched, but sometimes it does take an individual moment of brilliance like that to get a point out of the game. And if we're being really brutally honest, Plymouth deserved something in that second half because they absolutely dominated the second half of the game. Watford should have won the game, but Plymouth probably deserved something out the game because they did dominate. They had 70-odd% possession. They kept coming and coming and coming and coming. And I thought that Watford were going to get away with it. And a horrible referee to boot. And that referee is a joke. If that's Andy Davis, who Holly tells us is a Luton fan, he did ref that game. And that's right. I do remember that now. As Holly mentioned, he reffed that game, Watford 2, Millwall 2. That was the game where Watford had to come from behind to get the point. And it was Rajovic who scored the equalizing goal. I think it was off of a loser free kick. So, I remember that game like it was yesterday. That was last season. Andy Davis he's a terror. And I don't know how they're not 9 Plymouth players. I think Plymouth got a bit fortunate tonight. I'm not going to take anything away from the 2 goals, but Plymouth got lucky tonight that they went down to 9 men. That's an absolute disgrace from the ref. But the bottom line is that you still got to get over the line. 9 men or not 9 men, you've still got to get away. The Watford did everything right except the final 15 seconds, and it took a moment of quality like that to punish us. And so this will be one that Watford learn from. I think Watford will look over that film. They'll learn from that, and it's going to make them stronger. They might still end up in the top 6 at the end of the weekend, and I think that would be actually good, even if we didn't win this game tonight. If we can still end up in the top 6, that's good for Tuesday night. We can study the film tomorrow, and then we can make a turnaround and move into the game against Bristol City. That's the other silver lining, is that we have a very limited time to be dwelling on a game like this. If this game was being played, the game on Tuesday was going to be played next Saturday instead, then it could be an issue. But the players are going to, I think, except for Bio perhaps, swiftly forget about the way this game ended. It was heartbreaking to see that ball go in the back of the net. And we are going to be agonizing as fans over that until Tuesday night. So, yeah, for us, it's going to be a lot worse than it's going to be for the players, believe it or not. But that is it for now. I'm going to read out the one from Matt once again. The YOU ORNS comment of the game is this one from Matt. He says this Watford season is making me feel like I'm on a roller coaster, but just going up and down. That is the comment of the day, the YOU ORNS comment of the match from the Watford fan, Matt, on YouTube. This Watford season, he says, is making me feel like I'm on a roller coaster, but just going up and down. That is it for this one. Holly says on Instagram, terminate Backman completely and his shirts. Wow, my goodness me. There is a Daniel Backman fan in the building, and her name is Holly. She absolutely love. Don't you love Daniel Backman? Holly, I know you love him. I know you really love him. Holly, thank you for your comments tonight. And Rocker has joined us as well. Hello, Rocker. I hope you are doing well. Plymouth Argyle 2, Watford 2 was the final score. A lot of Watford indigestion tonight. Bio makes the big miss, but he did score his 7th goal in the last 4 Watford contests. So he is going well, but I think he will be focusing more on that goal that he did not score tonight, as will Watford fans across the world. I might change my username to BatmanFan12, says Holly. She loves Daniel Backman so much with the comment she's made about how Backman should be terminated completely and his shirts. There is the definition of love at first sight. Thank you, Holly, again for your comments. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody who's commented tonight on this contest. Please like these videos on YouTube, won't you? Follow on YouTube at YOU ORNS WFC on the YouTube channel. Would be greatly appreciated there. And thank you very much as well. On Instagram at YOU ORNS WFC is the place to be there for the post-match and the pre-match, of course, and of course on X as well at YOU ORNS WFC. For Luther Blissett, who I haven't really mentioned apart from what Holly said tonight, I do not know independently whether he has made that speedy recovery or not. I'll have to look that up. So wherever you might be presently, Luther, whether you're in the hospital or whether you are resting at home, wishing you a speedy recovery to you, sir, as you get back into the swing of things, and wishing all the best to you and your family on this Friday night, and of course beyond. Luther, get well soon, Luther. We'd like to see you back and at it once again, as always, as the champion that you are, champion of Watford and beyond, of course. Luther Blissett, who had been reported to have some kind of issue health-wise that apparently has not been confirmed independently by a member of his family or by Luther himself as of last check. But I can say that I do wish you all the very best, Luther, and speedy recovery to you. Thank you very much indeed, everyone. And Holly says, might become a Backman fan. We'll see if you're wearing that Backman shirt on Tuesday night, or maybe tomorrow. Well, it wouldn't come in time in the post in time. It's a scoot to the Watford Hornet shop and then run back to the Emirates to see Arsenal against Nottingham Forest tomorrow. I think that is being played at the Emirates. So anyway, that's it for now. It is now 11 o'clock on the button in the United Kingdom, 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in not so sunny San Francisco, California, as the rain continues to pelt down, cats and dogs flying out the sky. But Watford FC, a trip back to Hertfordshire with only 1 point, but in 5th place at the minute. We'll hope to stay in that top 6. Thank you very much indeed. Here's one last comment from Matt. He just posted it just under the wire. This was something posted on BBC Sport from Tom Cleverley when he spoke to them at the end of the game. Quote, I felt that we had so many opportunities in transition. We just weren't clinical enough. That is the final word, and that's Tom Cleverley's word. And I agree, didn't do enough offensively to put this game away. And we all know who Tom Cleverley will be referring to. Not just him, but to anyone else who had some genuine chances to put this game away. That's it for now. Omar here on YOU ORNS Extra on Instagram Live. Thank you. And here on YouTube, YOU ORNS Post Match. A pleasure to see you. We'll see you again on Tuesday after the game. That's right. No pre-match on Tuesday. It's post-match only during the middle of the week. And of course, at the weekend, we've got the pre-match for you there. So thank you for joining us. Take care. AM Corsten, hello to you. As you guys know, huge fan, Holly says, of Daniel Backman. Thank you very much, Holly. And to everybody who's come in and said hello, who's watched, who's listened, who's commented, thank you so much indeed. It is now after 11 o'clock at night in the United Kingdom. Like the videos and subscribe to the YOU ORNS WFC YouTube channel. It would be a great pleasure, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. The final score from Home Park: Plymouth 2, Watford 2. That is it. Take care, everyone. Omar here saying good night, good luck, and see you on Tuesday. YOU ORNS! Take care, and good night. Good night, Holly. Take care.